what's your view on if you know, again, you're that cultural piece, you're very much into sort of the people. If you've got someone looking at the numbers and they suddenly think the numbers are going down, how do you balance the culture versus performance when you're doing, say you're giving wellness days, you're doing 4 days a week, work from home, doing all this stuff for the candidate now, and I'm hearing it all the time. I'm getting candidates literally. I said to you as we were walking back, not quite asking for chauffeurs to bring them to work, but I'm getting to the point now where it's almost like I want to work from home. I want XYZ salary. I want this, that, and the other. I want to finish at 12 o'clock on a Friday. I want to do yoga. All this stuff, which again, the well-being of your staff, obviously critical. You want the right culture, critical. How do you then balance performance if it starts going wrong?
I think that's a bloody good question. It's really hard. As you say, I'll say the word entitlement. I think there's a lot of that going around at the moment. And unfortunately, as we are where we are, and from a business point of view, it must be tough. But I think back to a culture sort of thing, you've just got to get that culture right, whatever it is for your business, and then get the people motivated enough to want to, come to work, be it remotely, hybrid, whatever, but work hard. Yeah. And if you don't get that, you're absolutely correct. What's going to happen? People are going to get more and more entitled, ask for more money, do less work, and we're all going to be in a horrible place. Yeah,
it's not great. I don't think it's not great. What do CAE do in terms of an attraction strategy? Because you know, we touched on it earlier. You know, you've got a culture. You're part of the culture director, or you were the culture director. You want people to come and adhere to the values of the business and the culture, but they're quite demanding at the moment with these values. They want XYZ. They want more money. They want XYZ basic. How do you balance attracting people? And then actually thinking, do you know what, we can't fit them into our culture. So have you got a strategy with that you could share with the listeners?
We've got to a degree, can't share too much, obviously, but we're aware of it, acutely aware of it. And I think we're, you know, and other people in other businesses as well are very much looking, the culture is so embedded into the business now. We're not perfect, we're on that journey and we're getting there. And I think the best thing we're trying to do is make sure we do the right bit of culture and track the right people to match our culture. Right. That's tough, don't get me wrong. And sometimes it takes long to fill the vacancies in. But actually, you're better off hanging out a bit longer, maybe a month or two, to get the right person in rather than get the first person through the door who, as we discussed earlier on, may just bugger off in 8 weeks' time because they've got a better offer.
Yeah, and how, again, no right answer, again there might not be a right answer. Is how are you dealing with the attrition at the moment? Because every company I speak to is hiring. Everyone I speak to is struggling to find talent. Moaning at me because I can't find the talent all the time.
I can imagine that.
I'm getting loads of calls like that. And so they're struggling, and also they're trying to fight. Everyone's scrapping around and trying to fight other people. You must be under attack. You must be suddenly trying to get other people. How do you deal with attrition? How are you actually managing? Thinking, do you know what? I want to keep the culture right. I want to manage performance. I don't want to lose people, because I'm seeing a lot of people at the moment, and I feel sorry for employers at the moment, because I'm seeing a lot of people come into businesses. They might be there 3 or 4 months. If they get a better offer, they're gone. They're just gone, and there's no loyalty. There's no reason why. I just got a better offer and I just want to go. So how do you deal with that?
I think it's interesting because back to coaching, I say my new role now as a business coach, and it's really, and we've got 2 or 3 other coaches within the business as well, and it's getting back to that quality one-to-one. Absolutely, you don't do nothing. People are motivated by money and we can't pay it. C'est la vie, nothing can do. However, if you can build that relationship with the team and the people within the business, we've got multiple touch points, and you get the honesty and the trust built in, it does make a big difference on the retention rate.
Really?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, if someone's getting paid 20-30% more, they're going to be gone. But actually, people, what you want to try and get from people is, genuine loyalty, enjoy being there. And again, that's back to the whole culture thing. It's the management being trained up correctly to manage them. It's continuous.
Difficult.
It's nirvana, don't get me wrong, and no one's there yet, but we're striving to get there, and I'm sure the business are as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. How do you think the current headwinds in the economy will impact the channel? Because I mentioned to you quite candidly, I said, look, July and August, really tough. Really, really tough. The whole channel seemed to be on holiday. They took a sabbatical for July and August, as far as I was concerned. The candidates were on holiday, the client was on holiday, my own staff were on holiday. So suddenly, those 3 things combined, real challenge. We are coming out of it slightly, which is great. Touch wood. For the listeners, I just touched my my desk. But how are you sort of feeling about the economy, and how do you think it'll impact the channel?
Well, I think, let's be honest about it, that there's a recession looming. if you're not really in it already, to be honest with you. So that's number one, and we're acutely aware of that. So I think it's all about, start with sort of like a plan, the end in mind. So you've got to say, okay, this year it's going to be a tough year.
Yeah.
So therefore, cut the cloth accordingly and work out the business requirements. So are we going to go and recruit 200 people this next week? No. But you still need to keep growing, still looking forward. And what we're looking at is we've got a really strong internal sort of tech team. So it's working out what technologies, what niche areas can you look at and really start where the growth areas are and really focus on that. The run rate will look after itself, but look at niche areas and where you can grow that, especially from a technology point of view and long-term contracts.
Yeah, absolutely. Ags, my final question, and I'm not asking you to be quite mystic, Meg, but my final question, where do you see the biggest opportunity for the IT channel in 2023? Where do you see the growth is going to be?
God, Bennett, that is a question and a half, isn't it? Well, personally for myself, so I say I'm not technical. Everyone takes the mick out of work that I'm so technical. For I've been in 20 odd years, I still have no idea how to switch a bloody laptop on. I think personally, again, in my personal view, I think it's around the security. I think security is such a big thing, cybersecurity and all that lovely stuff. It's not going to go away, and I think people need to be educated how important it is. A lot of people think, I've got my security covered. You think, no, you haven't. So I think for me,
and we're not talking physical security.
No, sorry, obviously, yes.
Not talking knocking your doors, people.
We're talking cybersecurity.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So it is still, but I think that as well. I think the security market, especially the vacancies that we're seeing in the market, that isn't stopping. I don't see the demand for that is stopping. So I totally agree with you. Ags, you've been a great guest. Thanks so much for your time.
Absolute pleasure, Mark. Take care.